This team is full of crybabies. First, Bell, who I guess is just never coming back. And now, Antonio Brown. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Antonio Brown reportedly didn't join Steelers on Monday after a Chiefs loss. All-pro wide receiver Antonio Brown reportedly didn't show up to work Monday following the Pittsburgh Steelers' 42-37 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. According to Ed Bochet and Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, whatever, it isn't known if Brown was given permission to skip meetings and film study, but a source indicated they didn't know why he wasn't present. Pittsburgh is now 0-1-1 on the season after tying the Cleveland Browns in Week 1. This article will be updated to provide more information on the story as it becomes available. These guys are a bunch of millionaire crybabies. I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying it's all the players. It's just a couple of them, but they're good players. They're making millions, and I don't know. I don't know what their problem is. I don't know. Now it said they don't know if he got permission to leave. By the way this team seems to be going, I'm gonna say he didn't get permission. This is not why I made this video. I'm gonna go over the predictions for the Big Ten. I just wanted to read this because it's kind of funny to me, also kind of sad at the same time. So let's get to that. All right. So this is what I'm really here for. Is Week 4 predictions. This is my video. I'm predicting every Big Ten game for Week 4. Most of the Big Ten teams are playing other Big Ten teams. There is a couple of teams who are playing non-conference games for one more time this season. So let's get on with Week 4 and do the predictions. Penn State, number 10, Penn State. At Illinois. It doesn't matter. This is a Friday night game, too. It doesn't matter if it's at Illinois. Illinois is not a good football team. Penn State is a very good football team. And I'm giving this one to Penn State. This should be obvious. I'd like to watch the game, but I don't think it's even worth watching because of just it's a no-brainer who's going to win. Penn State's winning here for sure. So that's my prediction there. Nebraska and Michigan. I don't think it's going to be a loss for Michigan. I think Michigan will win here. But I think it's going to be not by as much as it was for the last two games. We're not going to win by 46 points or 25 points. We're not. We're just not going to. I would say 14 points, 10, 14 points we win by. Michigan does. It's in Ann Arbor. Nebraska isn't really that great of a football team. If you really think about it, they are 0-2 right now. Honestly, they should be 1-2, but they didn't play in Week 1 against Akron. But I'm gonna give this one to Michigan, maybe by a couple of touchdowns, and they'll get their other win before they finally go to the road again. So Michigan for the win. Buffalo and Rutgers. I know I like to tease Rutgers. I like to make fun of Rutgers because of how terrible they are. I was watching the Big Ten Network and they were doing press conferences, the weekly press conference for every Big Ten coach. And they were doing Rutgers. And then they were talking about on the actual network. Because I have no idea how Buffalo is. They were saying how explosive and how pretty solid the Buffalo offense is. And if they have a bad defense, it could be a high-scoring game on both sides. But because of what they said about their offense and just the fact that Rutgers is terrible all around, the quarterback has thrown 1 touchdown pass, 7 interceptions this season so far, and we're only 3 games in. He's already thrown 7 interceptions. After that, you got to assume that Rutgers will have trouble. And that they won't be doing too well. I'm giving the win here to Buffalo. Not because I like to make fun of Rutgers and I just think they're going to lose every game they're in. It's just they're a bad team. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Rutgers is not a good team. They're terrible. I'm going to say Buffalo wins here in a high-scoring game. That's my prediction. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but Buffalo's going to win. Boston College and Purdue. I don't know what Boston College did to get in the top 25. Purdue is awful. They're 0-3 right now. They had a close... Because I watched week 1, Northwestern at Purdue. And I really didn't care who won. I just wanted to watch football because it's been a while. And going into the season, I honestly thought Northwestern would be a solid 10-win season, 9-win season, at the very worst, an 8-win season for Northwestern. I thought they'd be a very good, solid team. And after Purdue lost by only about 3, or was it 4 to Northwestern, Purdue did, I thought, wow, Purdue may actually be a solid team this year. And I was excited for them, sort of. Really didn't care all that much, but I figured, they haven't been very good at all lately. As it turns out, Northwestern's not a very good team at all. They lost to Akron. They lost to Duke, both at home. It's not Duke the basketball team, it's Duke the football team. And they lose by 2 touchdowns. Northwestern lost by 14 points to Duke at home. Boston College obviously did something to get into the top 25. And since Purdue is really bad, I'm giving the win to Boston College. I honestly think Boston College will win. It's at Purdue, but we'll see. Minnesota and Maryland. This one's kind of an interesting one. This is one of those games where I really don't know, but right now I have no reason to believe that Minnesota cannot beat Maryland. Maryland has already lost a game. I don't remember who they lost to, but they lost a game already. They're 2-1. Minnesota, even though Minnesota really hasn't played anyone solid, a solid good team, neither has Wisconsin, and they lost to BYU. So, Minnesota has been very solid, very good so far. And they're kind of like my dark horse pick for the Big Ten championship. I don't think they will make it, but I don't want to leave them out because they've been doing very well. That could change because Big Ten play is starting back up, or is starting, but Minnesota has just proven that they are a solid team and quietly have done it. because going into the season, I feel like there's more talk of Maryland than Minnesota, and Minnesota has shown me more of a reason to think that they're going to win this one. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going to say Minnesota's going to win this one. And I'm not going to say they're going to win easily. I'm going to say that they're going to win it maybe by a touchdown. 7 points maybe. I'm going to give Minnesota the win here. And we'll see how Minnesota does, because Michigan doesn't play them this year, but I do wonder how they are doing. Do I even need to talk about this one? Ohio State's gonna win. Tulane it's terrible. Ohio State is probably gonna score over 70 points. I'm not saying anything else about it. Ohio State's gonna win big here. Now this one's very interesting. Sorry, I have something in my mouth. Now, Michigan State lost to Arizona State in week 2. They are coming off of a bye week, and they're traveling to Indiana, which is not a very long, not a very long ways away, but it is a night game. Now, earlier in the week, I was thinking, this is going to be Indiana's game. Now, and I was watching the Big Ten Network, and the guy on there, I don't remember his name, he used to play in the NFL. He said that the upset in the Big Ten is going to be Michigan State and Indiana. He said Indiana will win against Michigan State and pull off the upset. And I could see that. But I'm going to say, and I'm not taking anything away from Indiana. I'm not saying that they're a bad team. They're not great. They're not always consistent. They're not always good either. Indiana is undefeated right now. They have done fairly well. They're undefeated in Big Ten play. They're kind of like Minnesota, just quietly winning games in just solid fashion. But I really think that Michigan State is going to get the win. I think that they're going to fix some things. I think they're going to wake up. I think they're going to grab a brush and put on a little... No, never mind. I think Michigan State is going to wake up, and they're going to fix their problems, and they're going to get the win here. That's my honest opinion. Now, if Michigan State has not figured out how to fix their problems, if nothing has changed, if very little has changed, Indiana is winning this game. So we have to see what adjustments they've made. They're coming off of a bye week. And I just think that they're going to fix some things, and Michigan State's going to get the win here. So it's a very interesting game. I'm going to be paying very close attention. It is a night game. So I will be paying very close attention to this one. And hopefully, you want my honest opinion of who I want to win? I want Indiana to win. I really want Indiana to win. I can't stand Michigan State. And I'm just gonna come out and say that I can't stand them. I think I made a video about it. Of the top 5 teams I hate. But I hope Indiana wins, but I don't think they will. Unless Michigan State doesn't fix their problems. It's kind of a big game for Michigan State. This is a good game to start out with. Now, if this was like Rutgers or something, or Illinois, then yeah, Michigan State's winning. This is Indiana. This is a little tougher than them. Indiana, I would say, is better than Illinois, better than Rutgers. And I know that's not saying much, but it didn't really take much for Arizona State to beat Michigan State. Michigan State did not look good. So I'm going to say Michigan State gets the win, but they're not going to have as good a season as they did last year. Wisconsin and Iowa. This is the last one. I know Wisconsin is coming off a loss to BYU. At this point, they could lose to anybody. But I honestly think that they're going to be angry. And they're going to be fired up. And they're going to punish poor Iowa. And I'm not saying that Iowa's a bad team. Iowa, to me, really hasn't shown that they're a very good team. They beat Iowa State. That's probably their only win that I could be like, okay, yeah, they're decent. But Iowa State isn't as challenging as Wisconsin. It's not. Say what you want, Wisconsin's a better team than Iowa State, and Iowa barely got the win. I think this one is somewhat interesting, but I'm going to give the win to Wisconsin here. I think they're going to be angry. And I'm not taking anything away from Iowa. I'm not saying that they're a bad team, even though I hate Iowa. I'm not afraid to say that. I hate Iowa. But I really don't care who wins this game, to be honest with you. It'd be funny if Wisconsin lost, but I can't stand Iowa, so I wouldn't be too happy about it anyway, but even if Wisconsin did lose. So I'm going to give the win to Wisconsin. I think it's just going to be a way to get them back on track. I think it'll be kind of like Michigan State. Oop. I think it'll be kind of like Michigan State, and they'll kind of just figure out their problems and just go out there and win. Win big. Maybe not big. Maybe they'll win by a couple touchdowns. And maybe Wisconsin's overrated. Well, they are overrated. I have said that. I said it before the BYU game. I said Wisconsin is overrated. And what happened? They lost at home to BYU. BYU's in the top 25 now. They're number 25. While Wisconsin is still 18, despite BYU beating them. So if you really think about it, if they're going to put BYU at 25, why didn't they just take Wisconsin out completely? Oh, that's right. They were at number 6. So 18 is a really, really, really big drop. I'm giving the win to Wisconsin, though. I think that they will win here. And if they don't, screw me. With Northwestern is on a bye week. I think this is a needed bye week. They have come off 2 losses. They lost Akron, or Duke and Akron, and now they're gonna get a bye week. They're gonna prepare for Michigan because that's who they play next. They play Michigan at Northwestern, and I'll give my predictions on that when that game comes. So that's it for today. Sorry this video took longer. I'm sorry that I didn't upload yesterday. I was very busy and tired, and I didn't feel like doing anything. Because I took my driver's test, I passed, so yay, and I can drive now. But I left the house so many times, I didn't have time to record it all. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.